contributes more to climate change than all of the world's planes, trains, and automobiles combined? Farm animals. According to the UN, raising animals for food is one of the largest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions. And that's only the beginning.
In modern-day America, over 99% of all farmed and slaughtered meat comes from factory farms. Factory farms, or concentrated animal feeding operations, are used to produce the highest quantity of meat at the lowest possible cost. This system of high quantity, low cost comes along with countless hidden costs, whether monetary or not. Low cleanliness standards, violation of health codes, disease, high use of antibiotics and growth hormones, animal cruelty, terrible working conditions, environmental degradation, and ultimately the decline in consumer health. The argument for factory farming is that we could not feed America without it, but the fact is we eat far too much meat and at far too low quality. These factors only explain a small portion of the very serious problems with factory farming in America. Yet based on this information alone, we can all tell there needs to be change in this system. How do we change the system? Some scientists are looking to meat alternatives that could change the food industry of the future.
Alternative meat is a way for many non-meat eaters to get their recommended daily amount of protein. Beyond Meat is a company that specializes in alternative meat and utilizes plant bases to create a product that has all the nutritional properties of meat. Alternative meat provides the same nutritional benefits as meat, but with a fraction of the environmental strain the meat industry currently causes. One of Beyond Meat's mission statements is to reduce the world's meat consumption by 25% by 2020. If accomplished, it will help conserve our natural resources, reduce greenhouse gases, and improve the treatment of animals in the meat industry.
In vitro meat was originally suggested by Winston Churchill in 1931 and then extensively researched in the 21st century. In vitro means in glass in Latin, thus explaining its methodology by which scientists in laboratories produce meat that has never actually been part of a living animal. This is done by taking animal cells and placing them in a culture media that also contains a matrix of collagen that will allow the cells to proliferate. The first in vitro burger was introduced in London in 2013, but its success has been relatively slow due to high costs and ethical debates. Many argue that in vitro meat is the new way to consume meat because it lessens animal cruelty throughout the world and reduces their killings. The ability to grow meat in a lab setting also eliminates the negative environmental impacts of traditional meat production due to less required real estate and water usage, as well as dangers of certain species extinctions. Although it is currently a bit costly to produce, with more technological advances it could actually become cheaper to produce than traditional meat. It could also be healthier since scientists will be in control of nutritional content.
Although there are many benefits to in vitro meat, there are also a lot of obstacles to making in vitro meat a suitable alternative. One of the difficulties is that you need to get a suitable medium to grow the meat in. This medium should be obtainable and producible without harming animals or would defeat the purpose of in vitro meat. The main difficulty with in vitro meat is that people have to buy it. This includes a variety of smaller problems. The product has to be cheap enough for people to afford it, which means the medium and the method in which the meat is grown has to be cheap and efficient. It also has to be similar enough to traditional meat so that people would eat it, and it has to be marketed in a way that will make people less worried about eating meat that has been grown in a laboratory. As with every technology, there are a variety of ethical issues that come with it. One of the issues that people may have is the fundamental idea of growing meat in a laboratory. People may question if it is right to do this and if it is an offense to nature to do this as well. Another issue could be hormones and chemicals. If the meat needs hormones and chemicals to be grown efficiently and effectively, then it could become an issue to many people. Another possible, but probably more adventurous issue is the issue of cannibalism. With in vitro meats, a wider variety of meats can be grown, including humans. It would only take a few cells from a human and proper care to grow a human steak. This would create an enormous issue and would probably cause everyone to swear off in vitro meat if they thought that what they're eating was human meat. It is important that we give these alternatives to meat a try and to do so with an open mind. If we keep supporting the unsustainable methods used by the meat industry, then we may be facing a bleak future.